Here we go. So how you all doing? I'm having a little technical difficulty, but we're good now. We straightened it out. How you all doing? Good. Okay, good. We're good. Okay. So let's get this moving. We'll go back quick. Got to join America's team. I'm going into my 100th show. We got to help America's team, help our veterans. We're going to build a stress reduction biofeedback center. We're going to help the men and women of the United States Armed Forces. We're going to help them fight this post-traumatic stress disorder. We're going to help them with this excessive amounts of suicide, unfortunate events that are taking place because of this post-traumatic stress disorder. And everything's recording good now. We fixed it. You got to go to facebook.com/Frankie Russo Show. Click on the America's Team button and go there to the crowdfunding, and we'll make it happen. We're going to help America's team, help our veterans, help the men and women of the United States Armed Forces. We're fighting the post-traumatic stress disorder. Unfortunately, it's doing a bad. It's our men and women of the United States Armed Forces are committing suicide at an alarming rate, and we have to help them. So please, welcome to the Frankie Russo pre-show. I'm sorry for the technical difficulties. I didn't realize it wasn't recording. Now it is recording, so we're doing good. I'm at 77 WABC. We're gonna move. By the way, I went to the Benghazi. I saw the Benghazi movie today around 12 o'clock. It was a great movie. Unbelievable movie. So, I was talking about, I'll do it again. Fraudulent like the Service Card, Obama, Clinton Foundation, Iranian Global Terror Network, Iranian surrogates. And then we got this thing, in the Obama Hillary Clinton timeline, 5 released Iranian Quds Force leaders in Erbil, Iraq in 2009. Mysteriously released. In 2007, we captured 5 Iranian Quds Force leaders in Erbil, Iraq. We detained them for over a year and a half. According to the State Department, they were posing a major threat to the men and women of the United States Armed Forces. So we detained them for a year and a half. And then when Obama took over in 2009, he mysteriously released them. Right? Crazy stuff. And recently, Pentagon, 2 U.S. Navy boats with 10 American sailors held by Iran military. Is this a hoax? They're claiming they faked it. The whole thing, I don't know. It's just a wild situation. Iranian military forces seized 2 U.S. Navy boats and are detaining them on Iran's Farsi island in the Persian Gulf. Now, they've been released since then, but it's crazy. And then I read this thing with Alan West, the Lieutenant Colonel Alan West from his AlanBWest.com, the associated editor, as was reported, the 10 sailors Iran detained have been released. Thank God. Absolutely. But not before being humiliated by the Iranians in violation of Article 13 of the Geneva Convention, which governs the treatment of prisoners of war and requires captors to protect prisoners against insults and public curiosity. And then these photos are not very nice. One is they're detained, obviously, and the woman's wearing some sort of, I don't know what it's called, headscarf. And then you got the no war. Right, but right, that's the whole. What
conference only relates to war.
Right, so you're saying, but Alan, I don't know. This is what Alan West is saying anyway. Okay, I see what you're saying. Gotcha. So this is what's going on. And they got these horrific pictures. And then John Kerry thanked Iran for how they treated the soldiers. So I don't know what happened over there, right? It's crazy stuff, right? Just to cut to the chase. And then I got into this Benghazi thing because I wanted to bring this other thing in because I saw the movie today. It was an amazing movie. the men and women of the United States Armed Forces, they're just so courageous. And if you're not moved, if you're not moved by this movie, if you're not moved by the courage of these great American soldiers, then you're not an American, quite frankly. And it was amazing. And it just shows how how they were just left there to die, basically. That our leaders just left them there. And we'll talk about this on a live show. It was pretty horrific. But I want to talk about this because I'm leading into this. So this is what Iran's doing over here to us recently, to our soldiers, and we have our leaders thanking them for their treatment, and the treatment don't look good. They're claiming that they faked. I don't know. This is a bizarre situation, and I have my opinions on it. As you know, that's why I have the model here. But what's really crazy now with this whole thing, and we talk about this, Benghazi. Now, just to cut to the chase, we got the coup d'etat of Gaddafi, which was the precursor to Benghazi. The Benghazi hit came, so it was the Libyan Islamic Fighting Group that took out Gaddafi. Then this thing metamorphosized to Ansar al-Sharia. These are all Al-Qaeda affiliates. Ansar al-Sharia. And just so you know, Obama, Clinton, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and Turkey armed, materially supported with weapons, money, the Libyan Islamic Fighting Group. And they took out Gaddafi. For whatever reason. It doesn't make sense to me, but they did. And then from there, they metamorphosized into this Ansar al-Sharia. So now Benghazi is like a hotbed. Radicalism is all over the place. They don't have the infrastructure that we have. They don't have the infrastructure that France has. When France got attacked, and France has the infrastructure to, there was an opening. They took the radical Islamists, took it, and then they took the radical Islamists out. This is Libya. They don't have that. The Libyan Islamic Fighting Group just did a coup d'etat on Gaddafi, and now it metamorphosizes into this Ansar al-Sharia. And that's where this group comes together with Abu Qatala and bin Kumu and this Egyptian radical Islamists. They take over and they attack Benghazi. The Benghazi mission, they do this attack in Benghazi with the CIA annex and this mission where Ambassador Stevens was staying. Crazy, crazy time. I sat through this movie and I just couldn't understand how the security went down on this. How we're supposed to defend this base, this mission, and we have the Libyan security at the door, and the people coming in and out. We don't know, quite frankly, our soldiers didn't know who was who and what was what, who was friendly and who was adversarial, who was, what's the word?
Aggressive.
Who was against them?
Adversary.
Adversarial. Anyway, so it was crazy. So now, the thing is, the unfortunate event happens. We lose 4 Americans. The CIA operatives save 25 CIA agents and 5 State Department agents. They were like a guy named Tonto, a guy named Oz, a guy named Tig. I forgot the other names, but these are the guys that survived it. Ambassador Stevens unfortunately didn't make it. Sean Smith didn't make it. Tyrone Woods didn't make it, and Glenn Doherty didn't make it. These 3 guys, and these were unbelievable soldiers. Bad. These guys were unbelievable soldiers, courageous like you wouldn't believe. But unfortunately, they didn't make it. So now, what was going on? All this was going on. They were hearing things about what the executive branch of the United States government was telling the people. They were telling them about a video. They said, "What video?" A Muhammad video. And then there was another video that was coming. They were floating around. A video from this Al Qaeda leader, Dr. Zakari. he is the leader of he's an older gentleman. He was like the number two on the Osama bin Laden, and now he's the guy that they put up front in these videos. So he was talking about a guy named Abu Yahya al-Libi, and he was claiming that this guy Abu Yahya al-Libi was killed, and we're going to seek revenge. This is from the Dr. Zakwari, okay? Zakwari, okay? So, unbelievable, right? Videos. So I did a little Google search, and I found this article by Reuters, September 11th, 2012, at 2:30 a.m. Right? Al Qaeda confirms the death of Bin Laden confidant Abu Yahya al-Libi. September 11th, 2000, 2:33 a.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. This was released by Reuters. Reuters, right? I looked it up. Libya has a 7-hour difference. So they're ahead 7 hours. So this was released at 2:30 a.m. on September 11, 2012. According to the movie, the attacks were starting early in the morning, maybe, if I remember correctly, 4, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning. So technically, it was 9:30 a.m. over there in Libya. So already, why I'm bringing this article in, already the mainstream media is already framing the narrative for the executive branch of the United States government. Here's Al Qaeda confirmed on Tuesday September 11th, 2012, that one of the group's most senior figures, veteran militant Abu Yahya al-Libi, died in a U.S. drone strike earlier this year, in June. And now they're bringing it out on September 11, 2012 at 2:30 a.m. If you don't believe Frankie Russo, go to Reuters.com, put Reuters in the Google search engine with Al Qaeda, Bin Laden, confidant, and Libi, Libi, and you'll see that it's documented on the Reuters.com website, September 11, 2012, at 2:30 a.m. in the morning. And so, well, they've already conceivably they already got word that there was an attack going on in Benghazi already, and the mainstream media is already setting the narrative for Obama and Hillary Clinton to claim that this is the video by Dr. Zakwari from Al Qaeda, the head of Al Qaeda, claiming that we're doing this revenge attack on Benghazi because of the killing of Abu Yahya al-Libi in June. He was killed in June, and we're doing it now. So this is just to give everybody understand, the U.S. government said in June it had killed Libya in Pakistan, dealing the biggest in series of blows to the group since the raid that killed Osama bin Laden last year. And here it is. I proudly announce to the Muslim and to the holy fighters the news of the martyrdom of the Lion of Libya, Sheikh Abu Yahya al-Libi, whatever his name is, and that's who this is. And he said this in a video. So Dr. al-Zawahiri, head of Al Qaeda, is claiming that. So this is part of the narrative that I believe mainstream press is trying to pawn off on Benghazi. They're trying to help the Obama administration. This is interesting. I just stumbled onto this article. Why all of a sudden, Tuesday, September 11th, 2012, at 2:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time, Reuters is publishing an article called "Al Qaeda Confirms Death of Bin Laden Confidant in Libya, Abu Yahya al-Libi." And then there's a video from the head of Al Qaeda, Dr. Sakari, claiming that it happened and they're going to seek revenge. So, according to the emails that were garnered by the FOIA, the Freedom of Information Act, from Judicial Watch, judicialwatch.org. You got to check it out and donate some money. The great group. They garner all these documents. They garner a lot of documents on Benghazi, and it claims that there's a problem here with this whole situation. So it's they claimed there was a video from Muhammad, and there was floating around, according to those emails from Judicial Watch, that there was this other video from the Al Qaeda leader Zakari, that the attack on Benghazi was a revenge for Abu Yahya al-Libi, which wasn't the case. This was an orchestrated attack, and it just shows. I'm just trying to show how mainstream media is just another example of mainstream media framing the narrative in favor of the executive branch of the United States government, instead of just disseminating the facts as they come to them. Instead, they're trying to help the United States government frame the argument so they don't become held accountable for what happened in Benghazi. Help them get out of this scenario, which was an horrific event that where 4 Americans got killed, and nobody wants to hold any accountability for the act. So it was crazy stuff. The movie was a great movie, and I was very moved by the movie, very moved. So here's another one talking about Iran, because I believe that Iran's, according to a Republican. This is the Washington Free Beacon. Morgan Chalfant, a Republican congressman and former Marine officer, believes that Iran had access to classified equipment that may have been aboard those two U.S. Those two Navy boats with the 10 sailors that were seized. He's claiming that they had access to classified equipment. And Republican Duncan Hunter, who served in Iraq and Afghanistan, charged Wednesday that Iran was able to access sensitive technology he suspects was aboard the patrol boats. Now, U.S. Cryptographic and satellite communications, as well as sensors and jammers. I mean, this is not good stuff. Why is this happening? I have no idea, but crazy stuff, right? It just doesn't make any sense, and nobody. You know what this is like? This is like the State Department standing in front of the congressional oversight committees, and they're getting hacked. Millions of people, federal employees, all their information is being hacked by, they say it was China or whomever, and they stand in front of the congressional oversight committees and they claim they don't know why. They don't know how, they don't know who got, they don't know why. They don't know. It's like, what's going on here? It's like, there are 9,500 revoked visas due to terrorist activities, and the State Department was asked by a Congressional Oversight Committee if they know where they are, and they say they don't know. What is going on here, right? That's what I say. Or it's like this. It's like this, Or it's like this. 2 Minnesotans charged with conspiracy to provide material support to Islamic State of Iraq and ISIS. Guess what? They were employed by the Department of Homeland Security. Or this one. More than 16,000 recruits from over 90 countries traveled to Syria to become foreign terrorist fighters with alarming consequences. This is a global crisis, and we will continue our efforts to prevent Americans from joining the fight and to hold accountable those who provide material support to foreign terrorist organizations. With these two defendants, we have now charged more than 15 individuals with offenses related to foreign fighter threats in Syria. These two gentlemen, Abidi Nur and Abduli Youssef, one's 20 and one's 18, announced designated foreign terrorist organization. They provided material support to ISIS, whatever it's called. Somali Americans stopped at Minnesota before boarding a flight to Turkey. One of the 72 employees of the Department of Homeland Security who are on terrorist watch lists. Right? And Trump is right when he says we should be pausing the migration of Muslims from Muslim countries. We should be. Somalia, Syria, and other entities until we find out what's going on over here. This is crazy stuff. Ten Yemen detainees sent to Gitmo are now from Gitmo to Oman in troubling transfer. The Obama administration on this past week quietly transferred 10 Yemen detainees from Gitmo to the country of Oman. So quiet, in fact, that the news was first reported by state-run Middle East news agencies. And once the news got to the Capitol Hill, it set off alarm bells given the host country's proximity to Al-Qaeda's most active branch. The transfer is the largest. This is right from Fox News. The transfer is the largest batch of detainees shipped out of the Cuban prison camp so far this year. Now, people say, "Oh, this happened under Obama. This happened before Obama." Okay, it happened before Obama. Yeah, Ben Kumu was in 2007. He ended up going to Tripoli, and and then they released him from the Tripoli prison. They released him, and he ended up taking out Gaddafi, and he was involved in Benghazi as well, killing the 4 Americans. So there, unfortunate event there. So there. That's our great State Department, headed by Obama Clinton. Right? So, you know, here we go. 116 detainees. Here we go. Intelligence report. 116 ex-Gitmo detainees went back to the battlefield. I'm going to close off with this. A new report from Director of National Intelligence James Clapper claims 116 detainees released from Gitmo Bay have returned to terror battlefield. The report says 116 of the 64 former detainees are confirmed of re-engaging, a rate of almost 20%. Another 69 former detainees, which amounts to 10%, are suspected of re-engaging. So conceivably, we're looking at almost 30% of the former detainees going back into re-engagement. Very bad. Based on these findings, according to James Clapper, the report concludes that some detainees released from prison camp in Cuba will try to return to their lives as terrorists. Based on trends identified in the past 11 years, we assess that some detainees currently at Gitmo will seek to re-engage. Transfers to countries with ongoing conflicts and internal instability, as well as active recruitment by insurgent and terrorist organizations, pose particular problems. While enforcement of transfer conditions may deter re-engagement by many former detainees and delay re-engagement by others, some detainees who are determined to re-engage will do so regardless of any transfer conditions. So I take it to my brother from another mother, Senator, freshman Senator Tom Cotton of Arkansas. He says that all of those radical Islamists in Gitmo could rot in hell. He would not release them. He would not close Gitmo. And quite frankly, what I believe, and we've talked about this on previous shows and how we should be, and I'm gonna leave, I'm gonna get ready for the live show now. I just wanted to, go through some things and try to make sense of some things that happened this week with Iran, and to give you a little backdrop of some of the things that are going on the periphery of Iran, so that you understand that this is all one big global terror network. Okay, so this is the Frankie Russo pre-show. Remember, America's team, help America's team, help our veterans. I'm sorry for the little problem we had with the techno thing, but we got it fixed now. Okay, go to the America's team icon, click on it, and help America's team, help the men and women of the United States Armed Forces. We're going to build a stress reduction biofeedback center to help to help the men and women of the United States Armed Forces with their post-traumatic stress disorder, their unfortunate astronomical amounts of numbers of suicides going on with our men and women of the United States Armed Forces. Very bad, and we want to help them. Okay, Frankie Russo, yeah, yeah, see you in about a half hour. Yeah, yeah, yeah.